All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna do some TA on Clover Health. Right now, I got it on my template for day trading. Um, got some cool things going on here, but this is where we're gonna be at. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Um, reading. All right. So the first thing I want to point out is I have three Fibonacci targets right here. We use time with cycle analysis. We got the Clover Health with this white one with the dot or the scissor marks. Then you have this solid one right here for the S&P 500. Originally, I thought if it was going to break this trend, this is going to be the price action that it would take around this zone right here that it has a support. It never did that, of course. We have a lot of buying. We had an upward trend, right? It came out of a long-term downtrend. Market structure was negative for a very long time. You can see it over here on the 3 day. Back. There it goes. Back when the IPO first came out, right? It had that chance, then it completely failed. And I think somewhere around this time was that S3 was showing that Clover Health had 100%, more than 100%. It was like 150% short interest on it. That was like more than GameStop had. And you had the short squeeze for call options. Then ever since then, it's all history, you know, downward price action. But that was then, this is now. You can also see this is um this is the short volume on Clove FINRA. They update it every day, but at the end of the day, so you're always going to be a day behind. Okay? I got it here on the 3 day, daily. Look at a trend here, right? In the market or the structure, it's negative. Then it went positive. Structure was negative. Then it went positive. Here, here, which is the trend we're currently in. When it started having higher lows on short interest, pretty much around this time right here until it broke right there, then went down. Then shorts recovery, right? You can also see the same thing here. And then shorts are covering as it was turning green. Because, if you're selling, you have to purchase your shares back. So it adds to the pool, it adds to the market, it adds to the price direction, right? So short squeezes, they have to recover. Prices go up when they cover. Right? So there you go. So you got it showing it here and here. We're currently right here. There hasn't been a higher low. So if they did short, then most of them got it. I would say at the high price, we'll say 255 on this one, and then the next one was like 350. So So they probably got an average in between there. If you got those two, divide it, and they're going to get squeezed as soon as we break this block order, and the prices should ramp up. This is what I see happening here. I see it making it to somewhere in the $10 region, right? I don't think this is going to be significant resistance. I mean, it could be, but 16 got 34. I believe they're going to let it run, and if they do want to short the stock, right? I'll follow their shorts with my um, covered calls. So as they're shorting, I'm going to be adding to my covered call position. That's how I'm going to do that. And then whenever they get to a point to an extreme, right, or a support level, I'm going to exit my covered calls and then use that cash flow that I got off of that and buy more shares at that price. And just keep on doing that over and over and over and over and over again. I could go through these indicators, but if you like what you see, then you can drop me a message and we can sit down and discuss it. All right. But I probably won't have time, and if I do, it's going to be like certain times, like right now. um. So yeah, that's the 3 day. See, this is a zone right here of a concern. If it does pull down in this time frame, then that would make sense. But that's like next year sometime. It's like going into the second quarter of next year. Um, Algo say it's going to go down. He still got positive cash flow right here. And another thing too, I was looking at on the weekly. On the weekly, right? This is what I was expecting it to do. I don't know if it's going to do that. But if we look at the weekly, right, you see the negative market structure here, positive. We just got into positive market structure, right? It's been negative this whole time. When we do a calculation and how many days it takes, right, from the 50% mark from when it started to its high, right there at 30%, right? That's roughly 252 days to get from where it is at, which is right here at 39% to 30%, which is 10%. Um, in those many days. So if I was to do it from here, because it doesn't have the data, right? If I was to do it from here, that's going to be 3% above. So that's going to be 3% below. So it should be 47 right here. And let's see. Uh, put in that slope. Yeah, it's going to get a little complicated then. I mean, something I was interested in doing, but I don't even know where to go. Well, scratch that idea. I'm going to have to do some more research on it. Trying to calculate the distance and how long the time frame would take in order for this study right here to generate a study moving forward into this one, with critical thinking and stuff like that, and intuition or whatever you want to call it. So, anyways, it's only a speck of green here. You can see this red. It's been there for so long, right? And we done so much with so little. So, I think that moving forward, it's just going to be even more on point. We're going to see this area, which I consider a gap, to be filled, right? And then maybe a back test. Like I said, my plan is to do covered calls when it hits an extreme price and I start to see the short interest increase, right? Let's go back to the 3 day because it's more visible on there. Now, back to the daily. So yeah, this is what I expected it to do. It might. I don't think it has too much of a chance to do it now, but because we're already expired, the time frame is already expired. It doesn't pass that point, that trough low point. So this was the low. The buying opportunity was at $2.50 right here. I don't have it marked down because I'm not. I have a rule about when I buy, and I think you have to stay. You have to stay the course with your rule until you change it. And I haven't found any reason to do any type of changing. But anything under or anything within the dollar range is what I was looking for to add the position. So I actually don't have the first purchase that I made on here, but it was when I noticed the shift in tone, and it was right around here. It was at this price range. It was right. I think it was 90 cents. So I could put one there. Here. So there was a purchase there, 106, and then at 167. So there's my timeline purchases on the move up. If I do the move down, we're gonna have to go really far back, and we're gonna probably start from the dang beginning. So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna start from right here moving forward. So yeah, the algos, my creation, right, on my wave. This was a ghosted. If you look at it, it went negative here, right? So this was a ghosted move up because it dropped down. So it might ghost this move down. I wouldn't be surprised over here to compensate for this one that it when it was moving up and moved down in order to balance the equation. I wouldn't be surprised if it does that because as of right now, according to the algos, we are at the peaking zone, so it should start pulling back ish. Now you can see the wave in here without even using that right there. With using this indicator, I mean, I combine them all together because I want to see this. I want to see different answers in different charts, different indicators, or the same answer brought with a different formula. If that makes any sense. That's the reason why I got them layered like this on top of one another. It's just it adds to it gives it more depth. It adds to the TA. It adds to it, right? So we could probably do a brush. No, let's do this one first. All right. So yeah, right here. So that was that. Let me change this color on this thing. I'm gonna call it yellow. There we go. Okay, so they had this move up. It peaked here on the wave right there. Right? And you can say here down, right? And here up and peaked there.
Kroger brand products with a great taste will celebrate. That's why over 40 million people choose Kroger brand products, giving them a true pride pleaser. And with quality guaranteed, you'll love your choice and get your money back. Score Kroger brand products with savings you can cheer for and great taste you can't resist. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Did your mobile provider just increase their prices again? Switch to Spectrum Mobile, the nation's fastest growing mobile provider. With Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Switching to Spectrum Mobile has never been easier. We'll pay off your phone balance up to $2,500. Stop dealing with price hikes from your cell phone company.
So yeah, that's where the ghosted cycle was to the peak on this, and it got really choppy and shit. So I'm gonna try to skip that. Go here. And then we had another down, pretty strong downward push here. Like that. And now we're going up here. And if it goes that downward cycle, then that's where it would be, something like that. But yeah, you can see it right here, right? And you can create your own if you're into that kind of stuff. You kind of see it here, right? Here, 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 or here, here. A little bit here, right? Kind of see it here, right? Um, yeah, but it's there. It doesn't take a genius to figure out any of this crap. This takes time, patience, skill, especially with the tools that we have now. It would probably been smarter just to rewind the clock on this thing other than doing one by one manually. It's too late now. Yeah. Oops. Cancel that. Yeah. I don't know what the heck that was. Oh crap! That's what that was. All right. So Mia said, yeah, you can see it like that right there. This right here. I'm gonna probably clean up this, delete that. Um, Now the biggest area, like I said, right here is going to be in this range. You could say for safety wise, comfort wise, anything like it in the high $7 range to anything in the $11 range. So $7 range to $11 range, that's going to be where things start getting a little bit more complicated. And yeah, as long as we don't see short interest start building up, we continue to see whale pumps coming in and everything looks like it wants to go up. We're still in this upward trend. Everything looks good. Time frame, according to this trend, when we can make it to where we'll do the 3-day trend and the daily trend. We'll do the what is it, strongest point, which we should be more or less right here. So we're looking at somewhere in the middle of November to the end of December. So pretty much the last 2 months of the year, we could see prices high as $8 on the daily. On the weekly, the weekly 3-day, it would take a little bit longer. A little bit longer. Add in January to that. Still November, but add in January. So November, December, January would be when prices hit to that level where where I believe the strongest resistance is going to lie. So it all depends what the market does too. Do I have anything else? Um, it was at $1.50. All right. So let's put in that. Oops. Right there. It was at $1.50. That's where the buy was. Um. Oh, did I say $1.50? Shit, I wish. Oh yeah. $2.50. There you go. Yeah, my buy zone would have probably been definitely $1.50. Right. Anything in a dollar range. Period. But yeah, $2.50. All that negative. See all of that selling right here. These represent candlesticks, right? You can see the wave is turning up now, starting to see some green, right? You got the algos pointing up. There still should be some kind of sideways choppy action, but for the most part, it's going to go up. Troughs have already been completed. As long as we don't have a left-handed translation, which means uh, it starts off at the high point of the trough is the high price, and then it goes down, right? So it's basically, you know, lower highs. So as long as we don't have a left-handed translation, we're good. As long as we don't break this trend, we're good. And the trend indicator does give it some room to run, but I would be concerned if it starts to break this line right here, this $2.36 area, starts to break that, I would be concerned. Okay, what else? Everything's looking like it's going the right direction. This is the direction we need to go. Um, let's see. You got a divergence here. This was a good buying opportunity. Um, you could have seen it, as the short interest started dropping, right? Or the short volume right here, especially during this. So how I would use this is it peaks out, then it's shorts are covering, then you have a really negative day, right? Or 3 days combined into one, you have that candlestick, right? So kind of have to move this around a little bit to get a good view on it. All right, so you got this negative whale dumping right here. You got short interest dropping right here, right? It broke that trend, so it's no longer adding. It's more like covering. And then you got your waves kicking upwards, right? You got a divert, or you got you got a divergence here on this oscillator, right? So a lot of things is telling you to add a position. You just got to be able to see them. Right here, it flashed purple, which is a negative, right? And these bars started going up, continuing the pressure, and then the pressure dropped right here, right? And they're almost back down to to the mean of the short interest, right? So this ugly red candlestick, if you were daring enough to try to catch the bottom, that would have been a good buy zone right there. And then a confirmation would have been these yellows turning green and it dropping off like that, right? And it also backing off right here with this red, and then you're seeing a lot more green than red, right? And then the slope. is going in your favor of a bottoming formation, right? It's not trending down, anymore, it's trending up, right? And then you got all the other indicators you can add to. You get a psychoanalysis to it, which was a significant fucking trough, the end of a trough right there, right? Um, so yeah, it all plays into that direction. Then right here, when you started seeing the whale pump kick in, and started seeing market structure go positive, like it's only been positive for this long. Never. I mean, it's never. It's only had positivity here for a couple of months. I think that was short squeeze, and you could tell right here that it was because short interest was on a slope and it grew way up over here, right? It's only been there a couple times, and then it broke its trend and started coming down. So yeah, the shorts were covering. They got squeezed out because the price actually continued to move up, even though they were adding to their position. And then you had a whale pump come in and definitely knock that out of the park. Um, yeah, that's about it, guys. We're going to see this trend continue to move forward, even if it does go underneath it a little bit. I would say watch the 40-day moving average because it's lining up with the trend. Simple moving average. Watch that because it's lining up with the trend, the upward trend we have on the daily. Um, but according to this, we're supposed to be having significant area coming up towards the end of October. I mean September. We'll see how that plays out. All right, you guys have a good one. Probably do a video on day trading next, and maybe the S&P too. Do one for the overall market. I do have a short interest on this one also. I try to combine them together, but once they overlap like that, it just makes it really freaking messy. whale belly.